Seek, attack, and destroy. Sleep with one eye open because the best never ever truly rest. 16 words that when combined together equal one very powerful slogan. Tournament champion slogan. 32 teams, best of the best. They shuffled out the fakers and had their way with the rest. One final game. Two historically frightening fever-pitched teams that could only be visualized in a passion-filled, pigskin-laced dream. It all comes down to this. After years upon years of being victimized by the vivid fallacies of voter champions, one imagination was coerced by the suffering plague that is known to all as the BCS. So, Mr. Right Brain concocted a fantasy for all the deeply wounded college pigskin faithful in hopes that this playoff, to end all playoffs, would provide a glimpse, offer a gaze, into a mirage-like playoff maze that would stifle the heart with nail-biters, sure to make your hair raise. Whispers of past legends, shadows of the ghosts galloping. In a game that encompasses many men, true champions parade the toughest of extremes, the better known as the playoff peak. And that doesn't include a bunch of experts in a pen, where the prime focus is money. More green is what they seek. When the TOC roundtable was first crafted, there stood 32, the defensive-minded destroyers, the offensively stunning and flamboyant boy toyers, boy blood spillers, and those downright terrifying thunder train wrecks, suffocating chiseled chin-strap killers. But no matter what the style or the overflow of talent from present day to yesteryear team, each knew of the prize and what was at stake. The gold share of greatness was placed right in front of them, gleaming with golden pride. A number one for all number one's sake. 2 feet. 2 feet in front of them. And there for the take. So when TOC Media Day was upon us, and the coaches and captains entered the distinguished TOC room, there was only one seat that all eyes were fixated on, and they were stuck to it like glue. Solid gold share brightness, glowing bright and so true. But whoever ends up taking it back to their college or U will face a pain-hardy gauntlet and surely won't be doing so with a simple one-and-done game task. Nor will it be as simple as just showing up in pads, cleats, and a mask. The winner of the TOC will have to earn it, winning even the smallest of battles first, with mere centimeters to inches, all while spinning with cobwebs from searing devastation. The only champions survive playoff pounding cracks, helmet to helmet crushing, concussing fury. There is no doubting the weak will fall fast, but even the mighty get humble, for it's well known they too get knocked hard on their backs. When the seeded out pairings were selectively set, shockwave roars heard from each game's livid and amped up crowd sent attenuating turbulence to the high heights of the pregame flyover jet. It really was that damn loud. Nothing was subtle or trifle about the tumultuous TOC. Every ticket was priceless, and whatever price was paid, it was worth it times 3. Sense tantalizing and savored with no room for sophisticated self-entitlement. The loyal alumni or local resident superfans were let in free because they approach it with a blind eye. So go ahead and give it a try. Close your eyes. Listen, because maybe just maybe, your ears will become eyes, and they'll be able to see. Echoing roar cries reverberating with your pleasing delight. This journey had it all from every bizarre type of ending. A rivalry revisited, an upset special leaving the higher seed unseated. Alas, an early round stadium clearing fight. But it all comes down to this. 30 valiant armies have announced it, leaving 2 to battle it out like none other. 95 Nebraska, 0-1 Miami. Young kids, please stay at home. You'll be safe there with your mother. The TOC is ending, but it still has one remaining and lasting 4-quarter-long gasp. Promises to leave you looking for something to grab a hold of and grasp. So do away with the traipsing. I'll wake. One final waltz that's sure to see valiance and victorious come together for the playoffless college football world and for dear heaven's sake. TOC brain trust new skepticism would arise regardless of how objective they were in their stadium decision making. They stuck by these simple rules. Only the best teams to be played in, only the best stadiums. So, for a game of this unspeakable magnitude, size was percentually weighed just as much as it was prestige. The Big House was ultimately chosen not because it was the best, but because it was the biggest. The ticket distribution sales was split into thirds, 1/3 Huskers, 1/3 Canes, and the last third set for an open ticket auction. Profits from that auction would be distributed equally among 10 health and recovery charities. For the TOC, giving back was just as important as getting. Both teams getting the home field treatment. Coveted smoke of them games is pouring out into the brisk evening air. It's the ruthless, rambunctious renegades of South Beach came soaring out of the tunnel, displaying the hand-modeled team insignia of the flashy U. The Cornhuskers would soon follow, and they marched to the beat of a different drum. They didn't storm out. It was more of a cautious catwalk strut. Here's the radio call.
Try to scrounge yourself a ticket one of these first Saturdays and get a look. Well, you hear the music building. The Alan Parsons Project tune has become a big hit in Nebraska as the team makes its way out of the locker room and will emerge onto the field shortly.
With 115,000 in attendance and those watching at home, the moment had finally come, put an end to who is most deserving of the title better than all the rest. The U won the toss and chose to play defense, for they've been salivating for the chance to see what Tommy Touchdown Frazier is really made of. Everyone was standing, both the young and the old, as they watched Miami send 95 Nebraska's mighty offense out in 6 plays, looking a wee bit nervous, or maybe just rusty cold. Dorsey, Portis, McGahee, Mr. Shockey, Najee, D, and Dre Johnson were also stonewalled and limited to gaining only 24 yards in their opening drive. Black Shirts were a frenzied and frenetic defense that was anchored by linebackers Terrell Farley, Jared Tomick, Grant Wistrom, strong safety Mike Minter, and defensive back Ty Williams, and D-tackle Christian Peter. Tommy and Lawrence show had seen some wildly athletic defenses in the first 4 rounds, but the raw speed mixed with brute strength of D-tackle Will Joseph, DeAndrew Williams, and backers DJ Will, J. Villan, Vilma, and Cino Campbell once again proved to be too much in the early going, and the Canes forced another punt. The next play ushered in a guy who needs no nickname introduction, Mr. Ed Reed, chaotic eruption.
The punt, he's had 1 block this year, and he's got another 1 blocked, and Miami touchdown. And it's Fitzgerald. Marquise Fitzgerald with a touchdown. And Edward Reed blocked it, Bob.
That's just nerves right there. That's a very aggressive special teams.
Their special teams come through. They lead by 7.
Reed's airborne acrobatics, 7-0 Canes, you could sense. Start to feel Nebraska nervously tremble. So when Coach Osborne decided to momentarily shift gears, he went to Brooks Behringer. BB, known for his past proving cool in the clutch, became surprisingly and instantly rattled by the suffocating and relentless Hurricane front 4. And once again, Ed Reed, the thrilling turnover creator himself, said not so fast. I'm back for one more.
Picked off by Reed. And Edward Reed going the other way.
How good is this kid Reed? He's one of the leaders of the ball club. 15th interception of the year, of his career.
And he blocked the punt earlier in the game.
The Big House's green-clad faithful was galvanized by the actions of the man they called Reed. What sent Hurricane U into an uproar.
Dorsey, play fake, wants it all. Going to the end zone. Touchdown! Right in stride to Andre Johnson.
Great call. Just a great call. Rob Chipchinsky, the offensive coordinator. Turnover. Go for the jugular.
Only 14-0 and starting to panic. Haynes could smell cut Husker blood and would not back off from them. Wild state D-Manic. Tommy was now angry. He's flustered. As flustered to be. The anger wouldn't prevail as Miami would continue to shut down triple option for Tommy, cutting down the oak. The offense Husker mainstays, attacking the heart by shooting the knee.
Beringer, last possession, threw the costly interception, and he's on the sideline as the Cornhuskers take over once again. The starter, Tommy Frazier, who was ineffective, is back on the field.
This is turning into a movie.
Option, sack, through Frazier for a 6-yard loss.
And there's the villain if you're Nebraska. That cannot block him. He lines up in the gap. He's too quick. That was, I mean, you've got to at least try to get a hand on him somehow. I don't think the Nebraska offense can afford to run any more options. This Miami defense is just too quick.
The defensive ore would press on from there, and with the Huskers offense struggling, they'd come up with some luck. When Kane punt returner Buchanan got careless and greedy, leading to his coughing up of a mile-high kick punt when he got completely laid out by the fast-moving Mike Minter, and ended up with Ty Williams scampering back to the house. So the Huskers were on the board, and it was 17-7 Canes. Then came the safety by a blitzing Terrell Farley, coupled with a huge missed block by Joaquin. And this door was open, and the Canes penalized 3 times for 30. 17-9 the halftime score showed. Dorsey was furious, which he had every right to be. His Canes, this game, starting to get sloppy, nasty, dirty. When the second half began, the Canes received the ball. Their offense would sputter, idle, and then stall. Momentum was shifting after its early 3-and-out punt, and Lawrence Phillips decided to show up.
You could tell he was running with a purpose. He had his head down. This was Nebraska's chance to start to make Miami's defense relinquish costly energy with each and every down. Lawrence Phillips scampering, motoring, dancing, touchdown.
Facing a 2-point deficit, Coach Osborne didn't hesitate, and he wound up making the right choice.
And the Cornhuskers will go for 2. They trail 17-15. Full house backfield. Frazier will throw. It's good. 2-point conversion. Eric Alford made the catch. Game tied at 17.
It was settled. This game of games is becoming what it was. So over redundantly hyped up to be, and then some. And then with one swift Miami whiplash coming by virtue of...
Here's Portis. Big opener for Clinton, and he's still on his feet inside the 40, down the sideline. Portis all the way down to the 20.
Which gave way to Mr. Shockey, the tight end who played it out, laid it out, 24-17, rocked the stunned Husker crowd.
McGahee, play action, Dorsey to the end zone, wide open, touchdown, Shockey. There's the tight end Bob was talking about earlier.
Great call. Nice call.
Back-to-back field series would wrap up the third, and what would happen next is almost unexplainable to put in written word. The entire Big House crowd, both the Reds and the Greens, were chanting in unison for seemingly both teams. course they wanted nothing more than to see their team win. They knew what they were witnessing. Two freakish colossals waging war. And what has become, and what would be, a 48-minute dogfight. For all those in attendance, memory alone, really, actually, had a much higher value. That was going to be just the ultimate bragging rights win. As the fourth quarter began, you could see Miami's team laboring, but they were running out of gas. Wouldn't you know it? At this moment, touchdown Tommy, rejuvenated with lethal legs, did not need to pass.
And an option to the right. Tommy on the keep, turns the corner, 25-30. Eludes a tackler, 35. Tommy Frazier, 37, 38, 39, 40, 45, 50, 45, 40, 35, 30. He's going to go. Holy cow. Touchdown, Tommy Frazier.
The 75-yard eye-pop made the score once again deadlocked at 24s. Canes, though, were not worried. They had faith in their Dorsey. His throwing strength may be highly scrutinized, but his leadership throughout the years was flawless. Yet the black shirts dug in and spewed out a team contagious, venomous like cluster. They would gang tackle the speedsters of Team NFLU. Vilma would return the favor on the next Huskers series, dropping Lawrence Phillips on a 3rd-and-1 screen. But the game was still tied. Ultimately, and simply waiting for one team to blink. Penalties, intangibles, the killers. On what was a nicely moving Canes drive, right guard Martin Bibla committed a 3rd down holding that could possibly, maybe, be dubbed as the game-changing definer. Nebraska took over with just 5 minutes left. After netting 2 first downs, they faced a big 3rd and 3. Number 15 was the man. At this point, he never looked finer. Close your eyes and listen. Tommy running, you will see.
Huskers facing a 3rd and 3.
And I don't think this is 4-down territory. Not yet.
Option, Frazier keeps. Cuts up. He's got the first down. He's got more than that. He's spun down at the 28-yard line for 25 yards.
The last time he pitched it, this time he fakes it. Watch the running ability. You have to be happy for the young man. He's fighting his way back.
It wasn't Tommy who sealed it on this day. Amon Green, the thoroughbred, the leader of the Nebraska pigskin tailback crew of carnage, decided it was time to etch history and leave the Cornhuskers as champions defined.
31-24. You should have heard that crowd roar. Momentum the it factor had found its new suitor and also who'd win it in this final TOC chapter. But there's still 2:45 left. We still have so much we can do. Scream the begging and pleading you fans till they die through and through. However, this day, this moment, those plays, for whatever reason, amounted to an unhappy Miami day. And a tip pass for an interception would leave all of Hurricane Nation in temporary sadness and dismay. When Frazier took his last knee and the clock finally reached all zeros, the champions were crowned. The gold chair was hoisted as all 115,000 clapped in applause. See, friends, 95 Nebraska had won the hard way, the true way. And fighting through a playoff gauntlet will most definitely leave you more than breathless. But when you watch it and observe it, it'll make time stand still and seem like it's frozen and paused.